Welcome to the third part on our series on how to create a Bukkit server with HowToBukkit. And this is our first plugin part. So we're going to go into one of the plugins today, one of the more important plugins. More advanced plugins are going to be in a different series, which will come out when this one's basically over. So yeah, that's that. And today's plugin is going to be Essentials. And this plugin is going to be giving you a lot of commands. I'm going to go into that later. And every plugin episode is going to be split into two parts, where one is the configuration and the code, which is not that hard. It might sound hard, but it's not really that hard. And the other part is in-game and commands and seeing how it all works. So since we're on 1.3, this link is going to be in the description. We see here that Essentials 2.x stable builds are for 1.2.5, so we have to use a dev build, as we did with Bukkit. By the way, there is a video on how to update to the latest recommended build, which came out today. And we will need to download this, and I did that already, and got that here. You're going to be getting this folder, and I'm just going to unzip that, just right-click that, and basically do that. Sorry that it's German, but I can't quite help it there. For you, that would say like unzip or anything like that, extract. And we can now go in here and we see all of this. And we are only going to be focusing on this, this, and this. Actually, not this one, because these are the important ones, and we don't really need the rest. But we can basically include those two. They're not really necessary, but these two, the other two, are going to be in a different video, where we're going to go into permissions and rights management and role management and that kind of stuff. But for now, we need all these 6. And how do we install them on our server? Well, that's easy. We double-click our server folder like that. And why do I have so many folders open? Desktop? Nope. And we go into our plugin directory. And we take these files and drag them up here into Move to Plugins. Just drop them. There we go. They're in our plugins folder. And the first step is to just start our server. I'm just going to do that. Printing a lot of information here. So that's just generating files and downloading a database for the GeoIP. So that's done, and we can stop our server again by typing stop, pressing return, press any key to continue. There we go. And now if we look here, we have folders generated, and no worries about these 3. We are going to focus on this one, Essentials. And we don't even need to worry about any of these. All we need to worry about is this, config. So we're going to open that. So you can see that a bit better. I'm going to drag that a bit up here. All right. I'm going to see if I can somewhat make text bigger, but I might not be able to, so I will be right back if I finished it. All right, and I'm back, and I managed to get the text a little bigger, and you might have noticed it's all English up there, but that was not that bad before. And now we have a lot to read here. And I suggest you read all this green stuff, because it gives you a bit of information on what stands here. But I'm going to tell you most of this. So what is this? Ops name color. A color code between 9 to 0 or A to F. This means what color is the name of the operator is going to be. So whoever has ops or is in the ops.txt file will get this color. And C, in this case, stands for red. For example, 4 would be dark red. And I'm going to leave that at 4. And now there is an actual color table for the coloring, and I'm going to link that in the description too, so you can find that easily. And the nickname prefix is if somebody uses the /nick command to change his nickname, he's going to have this in front of his name, so everyone knows that this guy changed his nick and that's not his real name. Zoom that in a bit closer. Change display name means, is it even allowed to use /nick? Teleport cooldown. If you use home or TP, will you need time between the commands? So if you set this to, for example, 30, that would mean 30 seconds until you can use TP again. Teleport delay means you have to wait a specific time before when you executed it, so when you press return until it actually reports you. That's the time after the teleport that you're invulnerable. Heal cooldown. How many times can you cool down? How many times can you heal? So refresh your health. That would be all 60 seconds. Set that down to 30. But since you're going to be an admin on your own server, you don't even have to worry about all this, because admins do not need to worry about any of these cooldowns or delays because they can just ignore them. And you can prevent stuff from being given to anyone. So if you had multiple admins, you could, for example, prevent them from giving themselves every block with the ID 1. Block ID is going to be in the description too. And they were on an old video, which I'm also going to link up there with the playlist. Permission-based item spawn is a bit more advanced. That means that you can, for example, give item that people can only give themselves specific items, meaning that you could set like admins and they could only give themselves like wood or anything and not anything else. And spawn mob, that you can, with this plugin you can do a lot. So you can spawn mobs, and this is the limit, like in spawn 10 at a time. Since I'm on my private server, I can spawn 50 at a time. It doesn't really matter because my PC is going to hold that. And lightning, so Warren Smite. And as you may remember from my old video, false is no and true is yes. So Warren Smite true means shall you be notified when somebody uses /lightning? Yes, you shall be notified. Mod TD. That's going to be in the mod TD and rules txt, which I'm going to go in a second. And when a command conflicts with another plugin, by default, Essentials will try to force the other plugin priority. So if you, for example, have a different plugin that has a God command, then God is going to be given to that specific plugin so that it works on that one. And disable commands nick, you could, for example, do that, and people couldn't nick themselves, but I'm going to leave it there. Player commands. So these are all the commands without essentials before it. So what can players even do in the first place? So if they're not here, they won't be able to be done by any normal player. So for example, if you were to remove AFK, but give a player the permission to essentials.afk, which you can see here, we're going to go into the next video. The next video where we're going to go into Group Manager. It's not going to work, but we don't want that, so AFK. And kits is stuff that you might get on a spawn, or you could type /kit and dtools or tools, and you might get this. But here you see delay means it takes 10 seconds until you get those. And yeah, that's that. You could. I don't really use kits at all, so I usually just remove them. But it might be useful to have something like a basic toolkit with 0 delay, like that, And this is all enabled signs, so we'll be able to do all these signs. We're going to go into that in the in-game part. So there you go, that's all of this. And signs used per second, so how many signs will you even be able to make per second? Because like that is lag protection, so you can only use a sign like, for example, heal. There are going to be heal signs, and you can only click it 4 times a second, which is even annoying, but it's alright. Backup. So it will back up your world and your configuration. Actually, I think it's only your configuration, or might even your world, but at least it will back up every 30 minutes. And that's set here. I want this to back up every 60 minutes because it annoys me. Per warp permission, that means can you set permissions per specific warp? So warps are teleporting points, specific teleporting points to a set position. And sort list by groups, nope. And I'm going to set all of the ones that I'm going to be wanting to have changed when I run my server. So I'm going to leave all of this protection on, but what I really wanted to set changed is down in the bottom, at the complete bottom of the file, you're going to be having this newbies announce format. And that's going to mean what do people that are on the server for the first time. So if the nickname, so the player was never on the server before, he will see this message and everyone else will see this message. So it's going to say, welcome. This play name means the guy that came on, for example, welcome a real melon to the server, everyone. But I want this to say hello to, and now I'm going to type display name in these brackets and possibly give him/her a warm welcome. And there you go, and that's going to say that when somebody joins newly. And spawn point newbies, that's not so important. I never use that really. That is a kid that people get on startup. So I don't like to give kits on startup because people just get too much and it kind of takes away the survival part and it's pretty boring. So I don't really want that. But what I want is you scroll over here to Essentials Chat, you will see this. And this means how does the chat look when someone sends a message? And I want this to be the name and this. 2 points like that, and colon. I'm going to put a colon here, and then the message like that. Very simple, very easy. We're going to get into more advanced in the different plugin series. And you might want to read through all of these. There are a lot of options, and they're all pretty nicely explained with this green stuff. And I'm going to show you what you can do in-game in the next video, so stay tuned for that.